Not necessarily forgetting everything, because my dad never forgot everything.
Some sort of chemical alteration of the brain that causes you to have a different personality.
Alzheimer's is like, okay, it's the opposite of a baby. A baby is born and grows and learns to do things. And Alzheimer's, they go backwards. It's like they're going back to infancy. At times, like, they might forget how to eat. They might forget how to walk.
They kind of regress to being a young child again.
It's basically just forgetting things that are important to you now.
It's a brain disease, and it is plaque in the brain that prevents the neurons from connecting.
Long-term memory doesn't seem to be lost as much as short-term. I knew a lady with Alzheimer's who would ask the same question over and over again, and you just had to pretend she'd never asked it before.
You know, I've seen x-rays of people's brain that has Alzheimer's disease, and it's really interesting because the gaps, it's like holes develop in their brain. It's like their brain matter, their brain material is diminishing. So my definition, I guess, would be a diminished capacity for brain function.
By experience, I see it as no short-term memory.
So at first you might just start forgetting simple things like where you put your keys or your glasses or things like that, and then you start to forget names, and then your family, and then to just where your mind starts shutting down.
She could remember things in the past very clearly, but she couldn't remember that she had just called me 20 times on the phone in a row because she can't remember short term.
Confusion, loss of short-term memory, and losing skills that at one time you knew how to do.
And it scares me to death.
My father.
My maternal grandmother.
My father.
My great aunt.
And my aunt.
My grandmother.
And my grandmother also had Alzheimer's, although she was never diagnosed with it.
My grandfather was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
It wasn't my fault.
She asks the same questions over and over again, and there are times that you get really tired of the same question, so we'll just start giving different random answers.
He would get very angry because he would swear that we were lying to him when we told him things that we had told him.
It was just really sad because I was always really close to her when I went to go visit her, and she had no clue who I was.
And so it frustrates them to the point that they actually do stop talking because they know it's not going to make sense.
He had forgotten how to tie his shoes, so sometimes he would go, psst, psst, come here, and he would ask me to tie his shoes.
My grandmother seems to live in the past. She repeats her questions over and over again. Each day is like a brand new day for her, but she does know that she's somewhere that's not home.
Sometimes he called people by different names.
What he forgot was the most recent past.
We just start making stuff up because we know that she won't remember, just to kind of keep ourselves sane.
At times he couldn't remember what he did yesterday, but he could remember what he did as a young man and would start to tell funny stories as if they were happening right then.
And you can look in their eyes when you're talking to them, and you know if they're with you or if they're not. There's just that look in the eye that tells you that yes, they are there, they do know who you are, and they'll surprise you. At times, you know, you'll think, well, they don't know you anymore, and all of a sudden you'll see recognition. But it may be just for a short time, and then it's gone.
I think for the the family members who are there to take care of them, it's a lot of work because they need full-time care eventually near the end. As far as I know, from what I've heard, I believe that there have been
some medications that have come out that at least slow the progress, but from what I understand now, there's no cure.
I hope there would be something that we could learn, but at this moment in time, I don't know of any way that we could prevent it.
I don't know that there's a way to prevent it. I'm pretty sure that if you keep your mind occupied, really busy, like keep doing games and things that help you to remember things, I do think that helps prolong your ability to avoid it for a while.
I don't know. I know they're doing a lot of research on it and they're still trying to figure it out. I think it's probably a lot of combination of environmental factors and some genetic factors.
I think it's probably a diet thing, that it's something ridiculous that we don't understand yet.
I think that if some people get together and research and funding is available, that eventually one day we will be able to find a cause and a cure for Alzheimer's.
I think there are exercises and things that people can do to help build their mind, strengthen their mind. I know right now that there's a lot of research going on to try to find ways to prevent it, but I think diet too helps quite a bit, but right now there's not a cure for it.
I think if we pay attention to eating healthy and getting good nutrition, fruits and vegetables out of the garden, kinds of good nutrition, I think we'll live a lot longer and see a lot less disease.
I think if there was, we'd already know. I think several things contribute to it, but I don't think we know what we could do to prevent it yet.
Assuming there's things you can do throughout your life to help establish your brain a little bit better, make it function. I've heard, Sudoku, crossword puzzles, those types of things keeps your brain active. So other than that, I'm not sure about a cure.
Yes, I think more and more, with more and more research, they're finding that there's things that they can start doing now.